My people, let's set the record straight on what President Trump just said about Somalia.
Somalian, look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other.
Somalia isn't a nation? As a matter of fact, Somalia is one of the oldest nations in the world and has existed for, get this, over 2,000 years. They've built major trade empires across the Indian Ocean, developed one of Africa's oldest systems of law, and rebuilt entire economies without a central government. That's not failure. That's resilience, sophistication, and global impact.
These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country.
No, they've actually poured billions into the U.S. economy. The Somali diaspora has rebuilt education systems, businesses, and local economies from Minneapolis to Columbus. In Minnesota alone, Somali-owned businesses generate over $200 million in economic activity every year. The community has some of the highest rates of small business creation among immigrant groups. They fill critical workforce gaps in healthcare, transportation, logistics, and public service.
They have destroyed Minnesota.
Destroy Minnesota? No. They're actually the economic engine of Minnesota. Minnesota's Somali population has revitalized entire neighborhoods. Towns that were once declining corridors now have thriving hubs led by Somali businesses, restaurants, markets, and transport companies. The state's East African population contributes over $1.5 billion annually to Minnesota's economy.
And all they do is complain, complain, complain.
My people, civil participation is not complaining, it's patriotism. Minnesota has some of the highest voter participation rates among East African immigrants. Somali Americans serve as teachers, police officers, nurses, entrepreneurs, city council members, and yes, members of Congress.
They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, and she's a disaster. She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople.
Now, you may not agree with every politician. That's democracy. But Ilhan Omar is the first African-born, first Somali American, and one of the first Muslim women ever elected to the U.S. Congress. That's not a threat. That's the American story. So, my people, when they say Somali Americans are destroying America, show them the receipts. Share this video to let someone know this is a community that works, builds, votes, serves, prays, dreams, innovates, and contributes far more than they are ever given credit for.
Voices have started rising up to speak for Somalians. I stumbled on a video of a black American who said some of the things that President Trump said are false, that she does not believe that Somalia is a country that shouldn't be reckoned with. As a matter of fact, she began to debunk word for word what Trump said about Somalians. And she said, Somalia as a country should be respected. The people has contributed a lot. Instead of saying that they took billions, she said, no, they have given so much to America. And that the rhetorics that Trump is saying are false. Well, let's go listen to the lady because she's debunking fact for fact. And of course, I want you guys to listen to what she said and some other people that have a different opinion about Somalians. And when I come back, we'll begin the conversation as to what do you think Somalians deserve to be listened to. Somalians deserve to be respected. This is what these ladies are saying. And let me know some more than I've said. Let's go check it out. Credit belongs to original creator of content that I'll be showing to you. And please do me a favor, listen and watch to the end. Then I'll be right back so that we can begin the conversation. Subscribe, like, and share if you love this content. I'll be right back.
The President of the United States is using racist language.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
He is. He's using discriminatory language. He is targeting an entire group. in a discriminatory way.
Again.
Again and again and again. And when do we as Americans say being a racist or using hateful racist language is unbecoming of the office of the President of the United States? We need to be able to say that. And we need to be able to say it out loud. But to your point, Whoopi, about is this a distraction? Will his base care about, will they care, or do they care about other things? I mean, if you look at it right now, he also said during this cabinet meeting...
I'm about to just bring that up.
Yeah, because he says affordability is a con job. Is it, though?
I have late breaking news. Famous actor Ben Stiller rebukes Donald Trump's remarks on Somalia. And he states that America was built on the backs of immigrants. Melania understands. And he also said that Somalis are not garbage and they contribute to America. So Donald Trump, in another rant, said that these Somali immigrants should be sent back to their country. And then he had the audacity to say garbage. Unbelievable. The Trump administration is increasing immigration enforcement in Somali areas like in Minnesota. This is because some of them are undocumented. So here we have it. Now we went from one group and now we're targeting another group. Unbelievable what Donald Trump and his administration are trying to accomplish. But just remember, America was built on immigrants and people who had a dream to come over here. So way to go, Ben Stiller, and hand it to Donald Trump.
Mr. Trump, what do you want from us? Which Somali girl rejected him? Edo, Ilhan. No, please, like, help. But in all seriousness, this is some really dangerous rhetoric. I mean, we saw what happened with Springfield, Ohio, right? When he said those vile statements about the Haitians over there. So keep an eye out for your neighbors and do not allow this hateful rhetoric to continue spreading, because hate turns into physical violence a lot of times. And for all my Minnesota people, stay strong. Keep an eye out for ice, obviously, right? The icy roads. And be vigilant. Protect your neighbors. Protect your neighbors. And inshallah, this will pass. All terrible, all bad things always have an ending. So we will get through this.
Somalis are being hunted in Minnesota. Ethnic groups are being hunted in Dearborn, Michigan by ICE. They are deporting people. They're dragging them out of court. Somalis are scared to go outside of their homes, to go to work, to go about their daily lives. And I would just like to say to them and all of those people that are hurting, I told you so. I told you so. We told you so. You thought that because you don't like some of the things that the Democrats espouse or stand for, that you were going to vote Republican. The Republican Party has no place for minorities. It never has been. It never will be in the modern era. Okay? The same person that you supported and gave to and said, never Kamala, Donald Trump, his departments are now hunting you to deport you and your family members. And let me tell you something. I don't feel bad for you, and here is why. I've heard you say, oh, we're not black, we're Somali. Well, we are black, and we have been building a reputation and wealth in this country for a long time. There's 44 million of us that know how to navigate the system. We have power politically. We have power in almost all of the major industries in this country, and we told you guys how to vote. I don't agree with all of the things the Democrats do and say. America is not about that when you vote. America is about protecting you, your family, and your community. If you had voted Democratic, your Somali brothers and sisters would not be getting drug out by their foreheads in courts. You would not be getting hunted right now. Now, this goes for you guys as a lesson to learn how to vote in 2028, 2026, and beyond. Now, if you keep voting Republican, they're going to keep doing this to you. That's just the reality of it. And you see, nobody is coming to be your ally and defend you. Because guess what? You told us go F off. And you told never Kamala, anybody but Kamala. You got who you wanted. Now pay the price.
Do you know what the predominant religion is in Somalia? Take a guess. Islam. Over 99% of the population. You guessed it.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation.
Are you sure about that, Ilhan Omar? You want to retract that statement? Nope. All right, let's pull up some facts, shall we? Let's pull up some more. Right. Helping America thrive. Here's where my problem lies. Ilhan Omar is always talking negatively about America, the country that she resides in, and she's always speaking highly about Somalia, you know, the country that she won't go back to. It's amazing how much high esteem Somalia gets when it's coming out of her mouth, just speaking about it, when in actuality, here are the facts about Somalia. So for starters, United States listed Somalia as a level 4 risk. It's the highest level of advisory. Do not travel there. They're saying it's high crimes, high terrorism, don't forget kidnapping and piracy. Also, forgive me for my pronunciation, but Al-Shabaab conducts terrorism, attacks, bombings in Mogadishu. So that's Somalia. Organized crime is very prevalent. It's a hub for human trafficking, illicit network. Oh yeah, and we can't forget in Somalia, there's weak governance. They have poor law enforcement, and also some areas are heavily restricted and governed by Sharia law. Human trafficking, arms trafficking, sexual violence, piracy. Shall I go on? And it is a fact, not an opinion or a feeling. It is an objective fact. It's one of the most dangerous countries in the entire world. Obviously, not all Somalis are pirates or all these other criminals, right? But when you have a large portion of people doing something and you bring that over to another place, chances are it's going to continue. Never in the history of ever have I seen a third world country come to a first world country and the first world country get better and improve when they don't assimilate, which we see so often within their religion. And people will call me Islamophobic. That word is fake. It's made up by Muslim Brotherhood, first and foremost, and it's created to just deflect and to not take accountability for whenever they do mess up. When you break down Islam, yes, people should definitely be afraid of Islam. They should be afraid of Sharia law coming to America, to the Western nations. They should definitely be afraid of women losing their rights, the right to vote, having half a brain in their religion. Mind you, my father is Muslim, okay? I grew up in an Islamic home. I had the hijab. I went to the mosques. They separated the women from the men. The girls could not even shake men's hands. They were considered less than. I'm a lefty. I'm left-handed, right? And guess what? This is considered an unclean hand. My own father would try to force me to use this hand to eat and write with. So I don't care about white liberals, people coming, Muslims coming to me, telling me that it's Islamophobic to stand up for women, to say, we don't want Sharia law in Western nations. We don't want crimes. We don't want oppression to come to our countries. If you guys love your country so much, go back to those countries. Stop bringing your values and beliefs to another country and expecting other people to conform to them. And last thing I'll address regarding President Trump, I would have used a different choice of words. However, he had a point. As any rational human being would be able to see, Somalia is definitely a dangerous country. Here's the ironic part. So we have celebrities, right? And we have Tim Walz denouncing President Trump's remarks about calling Ilhan Omar garbage and Somalia garbage, right? Did they denounce when Biden called millions of Trump supporters garbage, though?
Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is just supporters.
Yeah, it's giving selective outrage, right? If it doesn't fit their narrative or their agenda, they're denouncing, they're upset, they're gonna say it's bad, but you know, if it's coming from Trump, evil, it's evil. But if it's coming from Biden or anyone that's on their side, it's permissible. The hypocrisy, that's all I'm saying. All right? Alrighty.
You know, I'm not an American citizen and I don't even live in the United States. But as a Somali, I want us to examine President Donald Trump's recent comments about Somalis strictly from the psychological perspective. So President Trump recently called Somalians garbage and accused the entire community of misusing public funding. Instead of reacting emotionally, today we are analyzing this statement using a psychology, because when we understand the psychology behind the behavior of the president, you take away its power. So number one thing is identity bias. Let's start with a historical truth. President Donald Trump's forefathers were immigrants. He's not a Native American. His family came to the United States like any other migrant community, including Somalis. So when he speaks as though America belongs to him, psychology explains this as in-group superiority bias. It's a mental distortion where a person believes their group is naturally entitled to control, power, purity of the nation. This is a psychological illusion, not reality. Number two is leadership ethics. As a president, Donald Trump is legally and morally responsible for all citizens. So calling community a garbage violates leadership ethics. And in psychology, we call this a boundary violation, a behavior where authority figures act as if they are above accountability and social rules. It signals a belief that they can insult anyone without a consequence. Number 3 is scapegoating. You see, blaming Somalians for misuse of funding follows a historical script. The Irish were accused of it, Italians were accused of it, and Latinos were accused of it. And now it's the Somali community's turn. But psychology teaches us something very important. When leadership fails and faces pressure, leaders divert frustration towards a vulnerable groups. Psychology calls this scapegoating. It's not a logic, it's an emotional manipulation. Number 4, overgeneralization. You see misconduct happens among individuals in every ethnic, religion, race, and groups. But to generalize and label all Somalis as a corrupted and garbage is a cognitive distortion. And this is called overgeneralization. It's the same distorted thinking pattern behind stereotypes and prejudice. It's an intentionally weak, emotionally driven, psychologically inaccurate. Number 4 is why always present insults Ilhan Omar. He repeats all the time Ilhan Omar, and this pattern reflects a several mechanism. Number 1 is symbolic. Ilhan Omar represents multiple identities that Trump often fights. She's black, she's Muslim, she's female, she's immigrant, she's politically successful. So personalities like this, when you see them as an attack, you technically attack back. So Trump brings her up repeatedly because she becomes an easy referencing point, in his mind. And in psychology, this is called a fallibility heuristic. The brain repeatedly returns to the familiar target because it simplifies the complex issues. So some politicians also strategically rely creating a common enemy to unite supporters. So by mentioning Ilhan Omar, even when she is irrelevant to the topic, Trump uses an out-group activation, and psychology calls this tactics. And this is how to unite your fellows. This is not about Ilhan Omar personally. It's what she symbolizes in his political narrative. So in some cases, you see, political figures project their frustration into a feasible opponent. When someone feels their ideology and influence is being challenged, their mind repeatedly fixates on opponent who embodies that challenge. And that's Ilhan Omar. And that's why Ilhan Omar appears again and again and again in President's speech. Remember, she's not the cause of his obsession. The psychology meaning that she carries is. So let's now talk about Minneapolis in Minnesota. It's home to one of the largest Somali communities in America. And according to the official data from Minneapolis area, Somalis are number 1 immigrant group, is 20.3% of all immigrants in the region. They are not a small group. They are core part of the region's population and workforce. So immigrants and refugees earn $1.7 billion in 2019. And a massive portion of that income comes from Somali workers, business people, owners, taxi drivers, nurses, doctors, entrepreneurs, and professionals. They paid $284.8 million in federal taxes. This is not a community that takes. This is a community that contributes. They paid $159 million in the state and local taxes. So schools, roads, hospitals, all supported, and contribution from immigrants, including Somalis. They contributed $178.3 million to Social Security, despite many elders not even qualifying to receive benefit back. And they paid $47.5 million to Medicare. These are not the numbers of drain. These are the numbers of community building that takes part the economy. So psychologically speaking, Trump's narrative collapses under the real evidence. So when Trump calls Somalians garbage, he's not describing Somali people. He is revealing his own cognitive distortion, insecurity, the political strategies, because garbage does not build the biggest immigrant community in Minnesota. Garbage does not contribute hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. Garbage does not hold 11.2% of regional spending power. Garbage does not graduate from university, open business, become elected officials, but Somali Americans do. So do not internalize the insult of the president. Understand the psychology behind it. This is not a sign of your weakness. It's a proof of your impact. FIFA Somalia.
It's that act of looking over my shoulder, which pains me because I am a United States citizen. This is my home, and I don't want to feel unsafe in my home. It's harassment disguised as law enforcement.
Are people afraid to leave their homes right now?
They are afraid, yeah. I've heard of people carrying extra identification on them, like passports.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I believe even though Somalians, some of them have actually said few words that are not really encouraging, that have actually made people to not want to speak for them. But everybody cannot be at the same place, thinking in the same direction. There are few people that are speaking up for Somalians, and they are saying the rhetoric that has been said by Trump is not true. And they said this is what they feel. Well, I believe everybody have a right to their opinion, to their views, as to what they want to believe. But these ones have chosen to support Somalians. As a matter of fact, one of the ladies said, the time has come for them to begin to speak to power, especially to Trump's administration, that words like, rhetoric like degrading and denigrating on people's views, culture, and belief should be kicked against. That they should tell the president that you have no right to speak to anybody like this. I mean, she used the word racist, that the presidency shouldn't be encouraged. Now, not just the present president, that but the presidency shouldn't be encouraged to use such words that will make a country or a people or a community to be spoken to in such a manner. And they said that they should begin to kick against such rhetorics from Donald Trump. And this is actually a different dimension, a different view, a different school of thought, because virtually everybody has been saying that what the Somalians are getting, they deserve it, because they've been able to make everybody feel like they don't care what people are saying, that they are different, that they are. I mean, my Somalians saying that they are not black, they say they are not Africa. So if you are not black, you're saying that you are not black American, you are not. But now some of them are crying out for help. And amazingly, these ladies that I'm talking about are actually black Americans. They are speaking up for them. Do you see that? The lady was speaking up, the other lady, black American. And of course, an actor, one of the popular, was also speaking for them. Even though the Somalians have said they are not black, they are not African. But blacks, Americans are speaking for them. Africans are speaking for them. And this goes to show that they need to re-examine their view, their speeches, their mindset, because you need people to speak for you. You need people to speak and lend you a voice in the struggle. But when you isolate yourself and you think that you're better than everybody, you may be putting yourself in a precarious situation that you may lack support or help. But so far, so good. Few people are beginning to speak for Somalia, and such are these ladies that you have watched. And they are saying Somalia as a country has done a lot. And they have given also that the rhetoric that Trump is saying is not totally true. But guys, what do you think about this? I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your view, your perception concerning this. Is it true what this lady is saying and other ladies are saying, that Somalia deserve to be listened to? Somalia deserve a voice, and that they have given so much, and they have also built America as an immigrant, and they also deserve the same respect and honor that has been given to every other immigrant. Well, Guys, what do you think? Let the conversation begin at the comment section, and I'm awaiting your response, your view, because every view is respected, every view matters on this platform. Until I come your way again, don't forget, remain in peace, remain in love, and avoid trouble. And lastly, subscribe to this channel, like and share, and let this message, let it go viral. Thank you once again for tuning in. Bye-bye.